Worst Lighting Ever award goes to this video. Just wanted to mention a few quick thoughts on Marriage Story, which I just finished watching less than a minute ago. The credits are still rolling in the background. They're suggesting I watch Sandy Wexler, which I may one day do. It took me a little while to get into Marriage Story. I think the first 20 minutes of the movie, I almost considered just like not watching it, which is something I don't like doing. I don't enjoy that, and that's part of the reason why I am bumming out on like streaming in general, is because it makes it so easy to hop in, hop out, give up on something. Whereas in my experience, when I choose a disc, when I choose a physical disc, excuse me, I ate a pint of ice cream while watching this movie, and trust me, folks, a pint, a Ben and Jerry, a little non-dairy Ben and Jerry. Okay, not a. It was one. Okay, so excuse my burp, but I definitely needed the ice cream. It definitely felt like a pint of ice cream type of movie, Marriage Story, because it was extremely uncomfortable and depressing at times. But I think why I ended up coming around pretty hard on the movie, meaning I liked it a lot by the end of it, is because it wasn't just misery porn. It wasn't just, hatred and pettiness the entire way. There was a lot of that throughout the divorce process. And I mean, the scene where they really just have a shouting match in his new apartment is, first of all, it's incredibly acted, but just so tough to watch, and you're just seeing them just pick at each other and needle each other, and like ramping up what each person's response is going to be to one another. But then the best part of this movie is that you believe every peak and every valley. You believe how angry they're getting at each other, but then you also believe that they don't truly hate each other. And by the end of the movie, they are actually becoming rather cordial, and not in a cheesy Hollywood sense of like, oh, do they still love one another? It's like, no, they've moved on. They're different people now. They're not, the same people, but they can remain humans to one another because they share a love of their son. And I think them both working at that is what's helping their son, get better at reading and become more comfortable in his own skin and things like that. So I believed them when they were in love at the beginning, and then when they were knockdown, drag out, verbal knockdown, drag out fighting, but I also believed that they could reach some sort of comfortable cordiality, whatever the word is, by the end of it all. And it's a shame, like when he dropped Alan Alda, his lawyer Bert, played by Alan Alda, for the Ray Liotta lawyer. I'm just like, oh no, why do we have to? But he felt threatened, I think, by this, Laura Dern's character, who's kind of like this cutthroat sweetheart. That I kind of felt like that was her vibe. Like, she was kind of on the surface like this kind of almost sickly sweet person, but then could be kind of an alligator. And you saw that with the way she told Scarlett Johansson that she got 55-45 on custody for her. And Scarlett's like, I don't like that. And, she's like, I just wanted to go 50-50. Like, I didn't want it to be this contentious thing because it had been so contentious. So, yeah, just everything, every swing, every peak, every valley, like I said, was earned and believable, for me at least. I think some of the best moments in the movie is the opening thing where they're reading those letters, or reading those, like, here's what I love about Nicole, here's what I love about Charlie, and then you realize after what they all wrote, they don't want to read it out loud because it was like they were bearing their souls, and now they're, in the middle of a divorce, and they are at the beginning of a divorce, and it feels silly and uncomfortable to read these things. So that was really good. The kind of the fight you see in all the advertisements and all the clips of them yelling at each other, and he punches the wall and he says about, I wish every day I wake up and I wish you were dead. and then he immediately breaks down crying, and it's incredible to watch him do that. I mean, he just delivered it, and they were both back and forth, but just the finality of that and him breaking down and crying and apologizing was unbelievable. You understand why he was nominated for Best Actor, and now I really want to watch Joker and see if what Joaquin Phoenix did comes anywhere close to just that like 5 minute scene. To praise Scarlett Johansson, because I think she was really good in this too, was her monologue at the very beginning, or not the very beginning, but when she first meets Laura Dern, of that whole thing as to why she feels the marriage is over. That was excellent, and that was well done, and that was kind of her big moment, like her big monologue moment. Another moment I really liked, well, not really liked, but one of the better and just most uncomfortable moments in the movie is when, I forget exactly what her title is, but a woman comes over to his apartment to just meet with Charlie, and Henry is the son's name, and just see how things are and talk to them and interview them about it. And it's going really weird because he's tense and the kid's not in the best mood, and it's so uncomfortable up until the knife part, and then he does this I do the stupid joke with this pen knife, the retractable pen knife, and he accidentally cuts himself, and it's this huge gash, and he keeps touching the woman, like she's ready to leave, and he puts her purse on her shoulder for her. What are you doing? And then he reaches around her to unlock the door. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Stop! I couldn't believe it. I was just it's it's getting so more awkward and uncomfortable by the literal second. And the scene couldn't end fast enough, but it could have gone forever, and I would have gotten a stomach ulcer from the uncomfortableness of it. But it's just a movie that it doesn't necessarily wallow in any one scene for too long. There's long scenes, but it's not beating you over the head with this is misery, this is this. It's I'm uncomfortable and I'm bumming out, but it's not misery porn. And I think I've seen people maybe describe it as that or something similar. And if that's what you want, that's what that's fine. There's nothing wrong with just watching a 2-hour movie where just nothing but bad shit happens to people. But there is some moments of just decency and support and happiness. They're few and far between, but this movie does take the time to say, hey, it's not all super terrible, and you can have a divorce without hating one another for the rest of your lives. And it's saying hey, it's okay, because this is the best thing for both of you, really, to have this divorce. It's gonna suck while you're going through it, but it was right for them to divorce. They needed that, even though things got way worse before they ever got better. So yeah, I mean, if I had seen it last year when it was out, maybe it wouldn't have cracked my top 10 of favorites, but it's very good, and I think Adam Driver was the dude is amazing. I love him in everything he does, and everything I've seen him in, which isn't everything. I haven't seen all of his work, but every time I see him, he's just doing incredible work, and he needs to keep that face smooth. He looks so good when he's not wearing that silly goatee, and I gotta tell you, Scarlett needs to wear that short haircut all the time. I mean, I was in love with it, and it allowed her to do the David Bowie look. All of it was great. And the baby, that I felt I'm that babysitter who's just commenting on how hot they are, and so it's just so uncomfortable when they first come in and she's not ready for them to come back, clearly. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on Marriage Story. It's very good. I think the Academy did a really, really good job kind of picking out movies for the most part. I haven't seen Joker yet. I'm gonna get there, and watch me love that movie. Watch me come out of this movie and say that Joker was the best movie of last year. We'll see when we get there. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I mean, so far, what I've seen of the Best Picture nominees, I've really enjoyed them. I still want to see 1917. I still want to see The Irishman. I don't think I'm going to watch Ford versus Ferrari. I just have a hard time caring about cars, but that has nothing to do with Marriage Story. That's my thoughts. Thank you very much.